So whoever's a die-hard fan of this channel has probably gotten a couple of videos where I am in a certain shift right now. And whoever's been with me has realized I have changed an apartment over the course. Like I lived in the previous apartment for 2 months only before I changed it. And this new apartment, for example, this is my first month has already passed. And so that's like significant change in somebody's life, right? Now, when it comes to work, I have a co-working space desk. Now I'm getting a designated desk. A designated desk means I can go, I have access for 24 hours. I can actually leave my stuff at the desk. That's all basically I get to do. Nothing really would change other than the fact that I'll be away from people I'm used to, I guess, or I'll be away from noise because whoever has designated basically is a bit more serious about his work. It really does have that feel. Like, really, I finished the website, the third website, I finished it in a co working space. And I was serious until like the tension was released, like the website was done. So when that happened, the first thing that I did was kind of like started getting to know people. So it's important for me, like the environment is shifting right now. So I'm looking at different people, I'm looking at different things, and ultimately it's a completely new mood. So it feels like my character kind of like resets and starts kind of rebuilding from scratch based on the things that I didn't necessarily like. And keep in mind, what I'm trying to do is design my life, right? Conceptually, I'm like putting the things in my day and structuring them in a way where I can get to the person that I want to be. I want to be a reflection of my ideal self. So I figure that's the best way to do it to avoid imposter syndrome. Because if anytime I change, I kind of like I'm adding a certain tension to my environment, and I'm shifting my environment. I'm shifting my focus. I'm not shifting my focus. I'm shaking my focus. So in a new environment, the first thing you start focusing on is, well, you focus more narrowly, and then you start slowly expanding into it, and then eventually you get comfortable into it, and you either get comfortable in a positive way that's making you feel productive, or you get comfortable in a way that makes basically guides you into different aspects of life, living, or whatever. So I've seen it happen, and I've witnessed enough people kind of like get very comfortable within their environment and they stop being productive. And I've witnessed people that were never got comfortable in their environment and never really got to being productive the way they want because they're not comfortable. And so there's a thin line in between that I'm kind of like trying to see if I can actually gauge. But ultimately, the main purpose of the move is for me to be able to kind of have my own space. I want to be able to record videos at the office, at the actual work, because I have internet and I don't have internet right now in the house. I want to be able to like step away from the people that became too friendly because like if I'm focusing on something and somebody wants to talk to me, I'm not going to be an asshole and say no. But again, like they're kind of being a bit more, what's going on with you guys, right? So there's a whole lot of dynamics that get created, whether I like it or not. And there's a whole lot of interactions that get created. And partially my fault because like I was there for like 3, 4 months and the people that are there all the time, I started saying hi to them. And I was like, hey man, like no, I say hi to you, but I don't talk to you. And now you say hi to me and you started a conversation. I'm not gonna be an asshole. You've been looking at my face. The last thing you want is like some random energy or office drama, which is something fairly common because people can't seem to separate I'm working versus I'm not. Uh, I really think it's human nature. Like being a professional is literally us refining our nature. You're not born a stoic, you become a stoic. You're not born an engineer, you train to be an engineer. You're not born a professional, you're trained to be a professional. It's also a cultural thing. Like here, where I am from. Like maybe in Japan it'll be completely different because over there the entire culture is more serious towards what they do in their lives. So they're a lot more focused on these kinds of stuff. I wonder if that's how they think about things. It'll be fun to ask people how they process their thoughts about their day. Uh, Even though there are interviews, a million interviews online, nobody actually tells you how they process it. They just tell you what they do. But it's the processing part that we're trying to figure out, right? Like for me, I go like, okay, so like I want to do better. You should do this. Yeah, but how do I get to doing that? How do I process my steps? How do I create an environment that allows for that to exist? That's my thought process. So I'm shifting my environment, and it gave me a bit of anxiety last week. And I put a pros and cons thing. And the only con is the fact that it's a bit more expensive, but it's fine. The pros are I actually get to focus a lot more on my work. With a stretch of consistency, I'm shifting my gym workout till the morning, although there's a cutie at the gym that I can't say hi to anymore because she works in the afternoons. But shifting my gym to the morning kind of gives me like I start basically the day already conquering the daily walk and the daily meditation, the daily workout. So that gives me kind of like a whole like I don't have to leave the office until I want to leave or until I'm done, like my head is done. But also in the new space, I'll probably be able to like take some naps or something, so that'll be fun. Because like in the middle of the day, I get exhausted, and the problem with that is I start taking a lot of breaks when I'm exhausted. If I take a 10-15 minute nap or meditative nap, so all of these are like positive things, but still I'm shifting my environment and I'm shifting my environment as I'm shifting the work that I have to do because I'm starting a new accreditation mid mid month. So there's a lot that kind of like has been shifting around within my schedule. And as consistent as I am, I still don't feel like I'm being strongly productive and going through them the way I'm supposed to. And I kind of blame it on the current environment because I'm feeling kind of loose in the current environment. I'm hoping when I move to the new one, I'll be a bit more awkward and a bit more myself when I'm like focused, and I'll be able to like swim through things a lot easier. It also feels like it's about time I actually like change the pace in order to kind of like screw with my mind a bit because getting used to something is not necessarily always the best option. And even relationships die when they become monotonous, right? So once your day kind of like is repeating itself with the same environment, same everything, you kind of lose your drive to explore. And most of my explorations are done mentally. So once the people around me are tapped out, what else can I do, right? And how can I avoid the random mundane interactions that are still good to have, like once a week or something, but not necessarily like on a daily basis. So changing environments, man, is actually a positive thing. I think it's a positive thing, but it's making me question how I actually exist in my previous one. And this is the first time that I'm actually like I've been trying to do this over the past year and a half. But this is the first time I think about how I've been doing, acting, being in my current environment before I move to the next one. And my thought process is if I can structure myself in a better way and position myself in a better way, I'll be able to be cool with the people that are there without actually having any impositions, having anything imposed on the work that I need to do. Like, don't get me wrong, I love hanging out, man, and most of the people are fucking cool, and the people that are not cool just don't talk to you. Like, you're not cool with, they just wouldn't talk to you. It's kind of like, whatever, like, do your thing. But slow and steady, there has to be a way for us to kind of like reveal a certain aura where we can talk, we can hang out, we can discuss, we can do anything, but we're still working. and we still have to be productive. And some have to take things differently and have to do things differently. So that's been my thought process. I have a habit of like letting things out, especially writing them on a piece of paper, because I completely believe that anytime I make a decision, I kind of like don't necessarily make the right one. So the best thing I do is I always elaborate on the current situation and expose the current situation to its truths. And once I do that, my mind kind of adjusts to the things that I normally would not have noticed. And then next steps that I take are a lot more natural to me and happen so harmoniously simply because I kind of have showed myself the reality that I'm in, and I can easily compare it to the reality that I want to get to. And I don't even do the comparison. I just go like, yeah, that's not working. Oh, that's working. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, I need to do better this, more of this. And once I actually put everything on the table, then my mind gets the chance to kind of like refresh. And every once in a while, I shake up my focus a bit and I switch my environment, even switching my schedule every once in a while just to kind of like add some tension in different places to kind of see how it squeezes out. Let's see how fun this is going to be, man. I'm glad I'm sharing this with you guys. Thank you. Sorry. Thank you.